Hi, this is Lee Furseth from the Headwaters Science Center here in Bemidji, Minnesota. There's a live audience today. For those of you tuning in, because you've tuned in every single Wednesday for the last 2 years, you know all about this show. 3:30, I'm going to read. Would you know it? I'm going to read to a rabbit who has never been read to before. This is the first time ever. First time ever. What do they call that when it's the first time ever? What's the word for that?
First time?
First time ever. Must be a debut. Thank you. There was some people in the audience that went, debut. This is her debut. This is Summer, who's turning her back to the camera. This is Summer, and she has never been read to before. There's a correction there. She was read to once, but she was held by somebody the entire show. Michael was in the show. So Summer, this is her second show, but it's the first time she's going solo. And for all of you that are tuning in, and you've done this for every Wednesday forever, well, for 2 years, you know that Orion, the bunny rabbit, has been here Wednesday after Wednesday after Wednesday. Orion retired. Just want you to know, retired. Retired is a good thing. Retired means I don't have to work here anymore. Orion doesn't work here anymore. A week ago Saturday, Orion moved in with a family of 6 wonderful people. I'm sure he's being read to day after day after day after day, because there are 4 kids in that family. Anyway, this is Summer. Today's book, I hope Summer approves of this book. Orion would have. This is all about beavers. And then it's followed up by a second book, and I'll tell you about that one more just after we finish this one. Here we go. Build, Beaver, Build. Why am I reading this book? I'm going to tell you I live right on the edge of a lake. I live on a lake, and I'm expecting to see some animals start moving around pretty soon out on this lake. We have some Bemidji people here. They probably have a pretty good idea when the ice will go out. Maybe a month? Are you thinking a month? Maybe a month? You think a month and the ice will go out?
April 28th.
Oh, we have an April 28th coming from the audience. That could be right, April 28th. Any other guesses? Anyway, the moon is bright on this June night. Now, this is June. So, for those of you who are tuning in, but you're tuning in and it's not March 23rd. Is today the 23rd? Yeah, March 23rd. You're tuning in because you watching this video after we produced it. We're reading this on March 23rd, but the book is about June. Anyway, on this June night that the pond water gleams, a beaver kit floats near his family's lodge. So we got a kit. You now know what a baby beaver is called, a kit. Similar to a cat, right? We call those kits, right? Foxes are called kits too, right on. Kits. Babies are called kits. A softball-sized male is just 3 weeks old. His 3 little sisters are asleep inside the lodge, but he's hungry and wants to nurse, so he whines for his mother. Mew-up, mew-up. That's a pretty good beaver imitation, don't you think? The kit's mother is nearby, resting on the top of the family dam. The dam, built from sticks and mud, stretches all the way across one side of the pond. Here we go. Make sure you people out there on virtual land can see it. And then we're over there. Here's the dam. Another beaver family built the first part long ago. That'd be the first part of the dam. When they died, a new beaver family moved in, tending the dam and making it longer. Later still, another family did the same. And it's the kit's family home. But the smells of the old wood and mud mixed with the fresher scent hints about its history. Beaver dams. The little male kit is swimming towards his mother when a shadow covers him. He looks up to see an owl swooping down. Oswald, it'd be a good time for you to join in. Oh, thank you very much. For those of you out there, we do actually have an owl, but he's not really participating very well. But as you can guess, as Summer can guess, that would be scary. Dive. Oh! Excuse me. I'll be right back. Maybe we'll let her go. What do you say?
Yeah. She's not gonna get in
Wow.
trouble back there.
She's not going to get any trouble back there. I wonder how tragic that looked. She's fine.
Oh, she's totally fine.
She's fine. Just so you know, she's hopping around. Diving is the kit's only chance. He does it just in time. Then paddling hard, he swims back to the lodge's entrance tunnel. The lodge in the pond behind his family's dam is the best place for him to stay safe. All right, show the picture over here. We're moving across. At 8 weeks old, the male kit is football-sized and rarely nurses anymore. Now he feeds nightly at the surface of the pond. Sometimes his parents fold up leaves for him and his sister to eat, but most often he's feeding himself. How old? Yeah, 8 weeks. 8 weeks. He also gnaws on tough stuff like cattails. He was born with big front teeth that never stop growing, so he needs to wear them down to keep them just the right length. This is a little bit on the exciting side because it's the first time I've ever read and the person left right in the middle of the show. When he's not eating or resting or watching out for an attack, he sneaks up on his sisters. The game soon turns to wrestling. Any sisters? Yeah, any sisters here? Not sisters? Sisters? Wrestling with sisters? Pushing, rolling, and tumbling, the kits grow stronger every day.
Summer's a sister.
That's right. Summer has a brother down there in the enclosure. Usually when the sky turns rosy with light, so we're looking at. You haven't seen a sky like that?
Never.
Rosie? I'm going to tell you, I see them on my lake. Like that.
We don't live here.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You don't live here. Okay. The beaver goes inside their lodge to sleep all day. But today the adults stay ashore a little longer, pushing up dirt piles. The male kit mimics his mother and pushes up a mound too. That would be mimics. The kit mimics his mother. What does that mean? Does the same thing. Copies his mother. Nicely done. Mimics is a great word. Use that one at the supper table tonight. I'm just saying, you will impress whoever you're eating with if you say mimics. Then he follows her as she walks over what she built, squirting out a smelly liquid from her glands at the base of her tail. A few nights later, a big male beaver arrives, sniffs, and then keeps right on going.
Round of applause.
Dry summer days followed dry nights. This summer is the driest in years. Streams shrink and disappear. At last, the only water around is the pond behind the family dam. Even there, the water is so shallow, deer have to wade in order to drink. This sounds like last summer, doesn't it? This really sounds like last summer. My lake, like I own the whole thing. The lake I live on was at least 5-6 feet down. Yeah. Hunters like wolves and bears come to drink too. Mother and father beaver watch them closely. When an otter tries to sneak up on one of the male's sisters, mother slaps her tail.
Yeah. Like how beavers do.
Slaps his tail.
It's a big loud noise.
Bam! The loud noise is a surprise in the quiet night. The otter stops. The sister dives, swims into the lodge, and there stays for safety. So here comes the picture.
So it's kind of like what Summer's doing. I went over there trying to get her, and she stomped at me.
Wow, right on.
Makes a big loud noise.
Oh, we got a Canadian goose getting in the story. On another evening, a Canada goose lands on the pond. It honks and honks and honks until the male kit tail slaps the water. Splat! His thin little tail makes more splash than noise. Still, it was enough to scare the goose, which flies away. No doubt, it would be better if he were bigger. Lucky for the kit, he keeps getting bigger all summer long. The more roots, stems, and leaves that he eats, the more he gnaws and grows and grows and grows. By the time the days are cooler, the rain returns at last. Water fills the pond again. Now the kit is big enough to practice working. So each night he picks up sticks, the way his parents do, and carries them away, one by one, to the lodge. Helps to do the repair work.
To eat and do repairs.
Yeah. One night, the young male follows his parents to the very end of the dam. A whisper of running water is slipping through the dam's edge, carrying away bits of sticks and mud. The kit helps his mother and father drag sticks into the water at the end of the dam. The beavers work until the water is blocked again, and for the first time the kit helps make the long family dam a little longer.
The dam got broken.
Yeah, the dam got broken. When the night turns cold, the twigs no longer taste of sap, and the beaver parents work harder than ever. Let me get that right. I want to do that whole sentence over again. When the night turns cold, the twigs no longer taste of sap. Wow. Talk that one over when you get home. The beaver parents work harder than ever, toppling trees and gnawing off branches. They drag these down to the pond bottom. Slowly, they build a tangled mound outside of the lodge entrance.
Can I tell a little fact about
Yeah, go ahead.
They have a way to fight out of the lot.
Yeah.
Now just this.
For those of you listening in, they have a refrigerator right there in the bottom of the pond. Right? Yeah.
They have a natural refrigerator.
They have a natural refrigerator. You maybe should be reading this book. It's the family's winter food supply, better known as a refrigerator. This is about what it looks like now, I bet. Well, March 23rd. Winter storms arrive, snow blankets the land, ice crusts the pond. Snug inside their lodge, the beavers rest and eat. Now, 1-year-old, the male, sometimes feeds on the branches his parents tug inside, but other times he swims out, go into the refrigerator. Probably. Ooh, one moonlit night, on his way to the food pile, the young male discovers a thin spot in the ice. He headbutts it until he makes a hole. When he crawls out, a breeze brings the hint of something budding, so he wades ashore in search of fresh food. But before he goes very far, a hungry coyote comes a-charging. The beaver hurries across the ice back to the open water. The coyote grabs him by the tail. Oh, I didn't know this had such a sad ending.
More pages left.
Oh, there's more.
It's reality.
All right. The coyote grabs him by the tail, but the beaver yanks free and tail smacks the water. Bam! The coyote backs up, startled. The young beaver is big enough to make a loud noise now, and he escapes. Okay. The night grows warmer until creaking and snapping, the pond ice roof breaks into pieces. Now the air is ripe with the scent of budding aspens, leafy willows. Sometimes after the young male eats his fill, he drags home a branch or two for his new baby brothers and sisters. That's what it says. There are new ones. Over the winter, the beaver family has grown another generation bigger, and the year-old male and his sisters have much to do. They're dam builders in training, as well as babysitters. One day, all of those skills will help the young beavers raise families of their own. It will be another year before the young male leaves home. Yes, the young beaver will leave home. That's how it goes. But when he does, he'll claim a spot nearby where flowing water can easily be blocked. There will be a mate, he will build a dam, and change the world, at least part of it, into the perfect place to raise a beaver family. I tell you, I got this from the Bemidji Library. Thank you. Thank you. You can clap out there too. And I will get it back to the library. Now there's a second book, and I promise this one is much shorter, and I think it's a good book to read if you've grown up in Bemidji. Yeah.
Can you get the bunny at least sitting there for a little bit for this one?
I think I'm going to let her go. This one's called Blackout. Okay, so Bemidji is the biggest town I've ever lived in. So I grew up in another town not too far away. It was a little smaller than Bemidji. And then as I went through my professional life, I lived in smaller towns. And now I've moved to Bemidji. And I'm going to tell you what, even in Bemidji, you would not have this experience called Blackout.
Yeah, no.
So here she is.
This is more like a cartoon.
They are kind of cartoonish. It started out a normal summer night. The city was loud and hot. Do you have any buildings that size? Yeah, maybe. In Bemidji. The pictures are fantastic, but you'll have to get the book yourself. Everyone was busy. This game becomes pretty important, so you probably should see that page. This looks like an older sister who yells, "Get out." Sometimes sisters are like that. I don't know. Or brothers. I don't have any sisters, so I couldn't speak to that, but I do have brothers and they did yell, "Get out."
And my older sister definitely told
Yep.
me to get out sometimes.
So here she comes with the game. Sorry. Much too busy. In this case, the mom's working away at a computer. That sounds real believable, especially during the pandemic we've been coming out of. So she goes back upstairs. She plays some video games, maybe. And then the lights went out. Rita, you might know, has Bemidji ever had an entire blackout across the whole city that you know
In
of?
2012, we had a big storm with lots of blowdown and power lines down, so neighborhoods were dark for days, but not the whole city.
Not the whole city? And huge apartment buildings, right? So I've never had this experience where the whole city goes dark.
The whole downtown goes dark pretty regularly.
Yeah, it does from time to time. We've had our building go out. And I love the fact that he yells, "Mom!" She, who finds a flashlight. Nothing worked at all. The sad face about the television that's not working, or a video game, or whatever. The city was dark and quiet. And still, so you can see the flashlight, right?
That's their apartment.
Yeah, their apartment. You guys know about apartments?
He's lived in one.
Yeah? Okay.
Just moving into a house.
Wow. So you know all about apartments. Yeah. We huddled around flashlights and candles, including some hand shadowing, right?
What are they making a shadow of?
Oh, bunny.
A bunny.
Come back, Summer. Until it was too hot and sticky. Air and conditioning went out too. Yeah. Can we go? Can you guess the end of the sentence? Can we go? That's a very nice guess. It's not outside. Well, it kind of is. Can we go swimming? Nice guess. Can we go So we went up and up and up onto the rooftop and found, this is like, you don't experience this when you live in little towns, and found the lights. So get it, they're on the top of a pretty tall apartment building. And people, it was a block party to the sky. And we waved to everyone. We heard the sounds coming from below. They dancing up there, right? Is that, they look like dancing?
They're dancing. They got a photograph of it.
Must be a crank one.
It is. You can see it.
Wow. So we went down and down and down to the street. Come on. They're going out with a flashlight out into the street. You want me to keep going, right? We got to find out how this turns out. All right. I just love this picture. You see the word? You see what the ice cream salesman is saying? What?
Free.
Free. Why would you be giving away ice cream for free?
Because if the electricity is out, what is it working? What did you talk about under the water with the van?
Freezer not working?
Yeah.
Gotta plug the freezer in.
Yeah. She's just going to give it away because otherwise, right? It's just melting. And no one was busy at all. When the lights came back on, everything went back to normal. Click. You get it? Click. But not everyone likes normal. I gotta go. She's hanging up the phone. I gotta go. Good idea, buddy. Good one? All right. Thanks for tuning in today. Even more fun. Thanks for being here today, because it's more fun to a live audience than a screen. Yeah.
Especially when our
Head
normal live audience